Let me start our update, our briefing with our heart and prayers certainly go out to the mother, Deontae Mitchell, and the family. I want to thank a number of people who have been involved, as you know and as we reported yesterday, in excess of 24 hours around-the-clock work. I certainly want to acknowledge our law enforcement partner, the FBI, under the leadership of Dave Gelios. Certainly Michigan State Police, another one of our partners. We want to thank Colonel Christy Eshu, Inspector Wolf, who's joining us, and Sergeant Krebs, who's played also an integral role. I want to also acknowledge the Toledo Police Department, Michigan Department of Corrections, Southeast Michigan Trafficking and Exploitation, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And certainly without fail, our staff from Detroit Police Department, Homicide Task Force, Violent Crime Task Force, Commercial Auto Theft, and the investigators. In looking at just the staff, law enforcement personnel from the southeast area here in Michigan, in excess of 100 law enforcement personnel worked on this case. Very diligent, very committed. So very thank you for their work. I also want to give a special note out to Lieutenant Cole, who was involved in this from the DPD for 28 hours. And by the way, he was celebrating his birthday. But he was certainly committed for the mission, so we're very thankful. And there's so many individuals to thank. But as you now know, approximately 8:30 this morning, we discovered a young male body found in the area of Harper and Baldwin. We should note that we have not confirmed that this is the body of Deontae Mitchell. So we're waiting on confirmation certainly from the medical examiner's office and certainly pending information from the family. Throughout this investigation, we served a number of search warrants and canvassed the area. In fact, we served 3 search warrants, and in one located evidence, and we did recover a firearm. We can't say at this time that it was the same firearm that was depicted in the video. Again, around-the-clock work by investigators. The bright side, if you could say that, certainly is tragic whenever there's a loss of a young life. But the bright side is that we did arrest the suspect, Gregory Walker, 45 years old, and a companion, a female, 43, in the city of Toledo, in the state of Ohio. And we're also actively searching for 2 additional suspects, and I will give you their picture and ID. First suspect, by the name of Ernest Coleman. He's a black male, 30 years, 5'10", and 145. This would be Ernest Coleman. We'll make this photograph available. We're asking for the public's help. He needs to turn himself in. Second suspect, by the name of Roy Portis, P-O-R-T-I-S. Black male, 5'1", 6'1", 180 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, and this is his picture. Again, we'll make this available to you at the conclusion of this press conference. Certainly, we look at the circumstances, very troubling. I won't be going into details. This is still very much an active investigation. We're still combing through evidence. We're still processing. We did recover the vehicle that was described, the black Impala, so we're processing that. And at this point, before we turn over to questions, I'm going to ask that Dave Gelios make some comments. Thank you.
Good morning. It's been an unusual 24 to 48 hours for me. Yesterday I had the privilege of going out to the Community Safety Hub in southwest Detroit, where the community has taken steps to take back their streets and protect themselves and join together to combat violent crime. While that was going on, we had a great deal of resources addressing what we view in the FBI to be one of our highest priorities, and that's crimes against children. And I think it's important, given the circumstances of this case, for us to consistently make a plea to the community when these sorts of things happen. We constantly rely on the media, and we constantly rely on the community to come forward with information. And information was critical in this case once the information was put out there. I can tell you that in this investigation, we had a great deal of resources given the priority we place on crimes against children. I had 4 squads involved here in my Detroit field office. The Cleveland office of the FBI was involved, the Ohio Highway Patrol, and we couldn't have done it without the partnership of the Michigan State Police and the Detroit Police Department. And for us, it's just important when these sorts of crimes occur that we can throw every resource we have in the FBI to our partners to try and bring resolution to these matters. So I just want to thank my partners here for that relationship. Thank you.
And I would like to Inspector Wolf to come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Chief. Good morning. I also want to just echo the words of Chief Craig. We, as MSP, sent out our condolences to the family. We were very saddened by the outcome of this event. But we want to point out what a great collaboration this has been between our agencies and from multiple states being involved. And we just want to point out our partnerships, and we're dedicated to working with our partners and continuing this effort in this investigation. Thank you.
And before we turn over to questions, I just want to make one more point. The fact that I want to thank you, the media, because had it not been for your quick action and putting the information out, certainly from that, we received a number of tips, and it helped us move forward rather quickly. Again, you're talking about a command post that was up in excess of 24 hours. You're talking about 14 hours of video that we combed through very quickly to make a determination as to what happened on that tragic evening. So with that, we open it up for any questions.
Can you talk about his capture in Toledo? What happened? Where did you locate him? Did he put up a fight?
He was taken into custody without incident, and as I indicated at the beginning of this briefing, not going to go into a lot of detail. This is a very active investigation.
Who is this woman? Who was that?
Companion.
Okay.
She is also in custody.
And one of the, it was fast, it did sadly resolve quickly, but is one of the things still you need the community to speak out more? Is that still a challenge?
Well, I would tell you, when you talk about crimes against children, we still have some unresolved cases where we know that someone knows something and they're not saying anything. We need that to happen. This is not just the law enforcement family. We can't do it alone. I've talked about the necessity for people to get involved. We need your help. You can't blame us, can't blame the prosecutors or the courts. We need the public to be directly involved. Now, of course, in some of our more high-profile cases, the community does step up, and this is why we applaud you for getting the information out very quickly.
Do you know more about these 2 additional suspects that you're looking for right now, Coleman and Portis?
Well, we have pictures. I'm not going to go into details what role they played in this horrific this crime, but we want them to turn themselves in quickly.
Do you know if they're still in the local area or if they may have...
If I knew that, we'd be out at the door knocking. So that's why we're asking for the public's help. Hopefully you will get those pictures out so that we can bring them in.
Chief, are you able to, I know you can't release much, are you able to say whether Walker knew the child at all? Or was this random, or was it because of the initial thing was because of some drop money? Is that aired out? Or?
That's certainly one possibility. Unaware of whether he was acquainted with the child. Again, we're talking about a defenseless child and an adult male with a gun. Once again, another coward preying on children, and that needs to stop. And I made a promise yesterday. I said, we will find you, we will get you, and within 24 hours, suspects in custody. This should be a message to all who perpetrate crimes against children. We are going to continue in a very relentless way to find you and bring you into custody. Now, we bring attention to this, and we still report out that crime overall in Detroit is down. But it's these single incidents that really drive fear. We also know that there's a 5-day national story on the tragic shooting of a gorilla in Cincinnati. This is tragic, and we need to step up and say enough is enough.
Can you give more details about the body that was found?
I'm not going to go into the details of the body. Again, we haven't conclusively identified the young person, and until that happens, we won't go into any details on that.
You said it was found where? Was it a house, in a field?
In a field.
It was found in a field, overgrown. Any description of the field at all?
It was some foliage. I'm not sure how much, but the fact that the body was placed at this location.
It was a gunshot wound?
I'm not going to go into the details of how he succumbed.
Can you indicate how long the body had been there?
Don't know yet. Medical exam has not been conducted.
One more question.
And then a lot of people are blaming. What was the mom thinking? Why was this kid out at 10:30?
Look, this, I'm offended when we talk about the mom. She's a loving mom. You had a chance to meet her. Certainly, he's a teenager. Name a city where teenagers don't go out in the summer months. So what we should be talking about is reaching out and wrapping our arms around the family. Our thoughts and prayers should be with the family, not why the child was out at 10. We should be talking about the violent predator and the other violent predators that prey on children or even the elderly. That's what we should be having a conversation about. Is there any other pressing questions?
Can you say where in Toledo he was picked up?
I won't go into details. Still part of the investigation.
How does this affect you guys when kids are involved? It's been a tough month for kids getting killed. You know, it's got to take a toll on you. It takes a toll on us.
Yeah, it takes a toll. Certainly, it takes a toll. I think everybody that stands with me this morning and the folks out here, the investigators, there have been 5 incidents involving children since Easter, 2 fatal, 3 non-fatal, and each time a child was a victim. We know about the horrific story involving the children in the freezer well over a year ago. Certainly the officers that responded to that scene were traumatized by that. Our police officers are not robots. They care. They count. And so they're giving back to the community. They go places where others won't go.